News 4 Jack starts right now with a breaking news alert.
The jury decides. All three men convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery convicted of a federal hate crime. About an hour ago, a federal jury found Travis McMichael, his father Gregory, and their neighbor Roddy Bryan guilty of violating Ahmaud Arbery's civil rights and targeting him because he was black. News 4 Jack's reporters Ashley Harding and Janice Harris were both in the courtroom when the verdict was read. They're right now on the courthouse steps when Arbery's family spoke about the verdict. We'll start with Ashley. And Ashley, jurors resumed deliberating at 9 this morning. It only took them 55 more minutes.
That is true, Bruce. Between yesterday and today, it only took the jury about 4 hours altogether to hand down unanimous guilty verdicts on all of these counts. Once again, all three men were found guilty of attempted kidnapping and interfering with Ahmaud Arbery's right to use a public street because of his race. Now, Travis and Greg McMichael specifically were also found guilty of brandishing a firearm during the commission of a violent crime. And Travis McMichael was also convicted of discharging a firearm during the commission of a violent crime. I want to go ahead and show our viewers this video right here. We were able to capture Mrs. Lee McMichael, that is Greg McMichael's wife and the mother of Travis McMichael. She was with someone else. They decided not to make any comments. Now, I also want to show this video to our viewers right here. This is video of the van holding the defendants inside, pulling out of the Sally Port there, leading to the federal courthouse. They are now being taken back into custody. Now, we've also learned in the last half hour that at some point today, there will be an amendment filed to the civil lawsuit in this case at some point again today on the basis that some key pieces of evidence or information were revealed in this federal trial that did not make it, that were not revealed rather in the state trial. We did hear from attorney Ben Crump, who talks a little bit more about what happens from here. This is what he said during that powerful press conference.
We're going to continue to make sure the course is tracked, that everybody who was responsible for the lynching of Ahmaud Arbery and in the aftermath, the cover-up, the conspiracy, that they will be held accountable.
And he right there is also talking about the pending case against the former district attorney, Jackie Johnson. Now, all three men today have 14 days from today to file any post-conviction motions. And once they are actually sentenced, we don't know when that is going to be, but when that sentencing date does happen, they'll have 14 days from that date to file any appeals. Now, we're standing here in front of the federal courthouse, but over in that direction, we did see the prosecutors make their way out, all three of them. We asked them if they had any comments about their victory this morning. They did not wish to speak at all, but we did see some members of Ahmaud Arbery's family go up, shake their hands, and give them a hug on this emotional day for them. I'll send it back to you, Bruce.
Ashley, now News 4 Jack's reporter Janice Harris was there as Ahmaud Arbery's family talked about the verdict just after it was read. She joins us live. Janice.
And as we saw in that video, they walked out with their attorneys, with their supporters and the family, the Ahmaud Arbery family, holding hands and raising them in the air in celebration of the all guilty verdicts. We spoke with his mother first, who said that she was very happy, very pleased with the verdict, but she also now has a catchphrase for this day. She calls it Super Tuesday. Let's take a listen.
Today is Super Tuesday.
Hey!
We're gonna keep it simple. It's Super Tuesday. We got a guilty verdict on all charges, on all murderers.
I love that.
On all levels.
And you also hear the humanity and the loss that still looms over this family because Ahmaud Arbery is not alive, and they've been attempting to get justice for him for 2 years. Tomorrow will mark the day when he was murdered on February 23rd, 2020. We also spoke with his father, and his father said specifically in a soundbite you're going to hear in just a moment that every day he thinks about Ahmaud Arbery, and every day he gets up and he works out, just like Ahmaud Arbery used to do to relieve stress. Let's listen to what his father had to say.
I wake up every morning, I do 26 push-ups for his age. Wow. Every morning, I wake up and do 20 push-ups. I'm talking about every morning, because I know that's his age.
And again, a way of memorializing his son by doing 26 push-ups every day, the age his son was before he was murdered. Reporting live in Brunswick at the federal courthouse, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
Janice, it's also important to point out that Wanda Cooper Jones lashed out at the Department of Justice. She would not let go of the fact that they tried to reach a plea agreement with the 3 defendants.
She made it very clear that she was extremely disappointed. And this was actually some of the first drama, if you will, for this federal trial that was in the pre-trial phase. She made it very clear, and also other supporters of her family, they did not want the plea deal. At one point, the DOJ saying that there may have been some form of a miscommunication. This was also discussed in the courtroom before the trial began. And we hadn't heard much about it after the judge denied the plea deal, even though Greg McMichael and Travis McMichael had entered a guilty plea based upon that plea deal. If you recall, the judge denied that plea deal, that wiped that off the table, and then the trial began. The men withdrew their guilty plea and then went back to saying not guilty. But of course, today we learned the verdict coming from the jury, finding all 3 men guilty of the federal hate crimes that they committed on the same day when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. But coming up tonight at 4, 5, and 6, we will hear more about what she had to say about the DOJ.
And it was interesting because she leaned over to Ben Crump at one point, and when he was saying, we're going to talk about the Department of Justice, she says, I'm not going to say anything nice. We'll have more, as Janice said, about that later on.